America's voice. Now, I know a lot of you, when you tune in, you got to be very careful because I go on such wonderful, effervescent, stimulating, exciting tangents that the average person who has graduated from the American anti-education system, you might get a spiritual hernia. You might have your intellectual scrotum begin to swell and bring pain into your life. But I bring you sanctuary. And it's because I'm surrounded by the greatest people in the world. You hear me talk about fieldofgreens.com. It's a natural, healthy, supportive ingredient that Shemaine and I love, fieldofgreens.com. And my guest right now, James Stocky. Now, James had a bumper crop of middle fingers this year, and the reason I love James Stocky is because he works with his hands. He's a carpenter. He's a woodsmith. He uses the great natural renewable resources from the miraculous creation of God and has created this wonderful entrepreneurial family business called YourAmericanFlagStore.com. I want to start a business called YourAmericanFlagStore.com. We're going to have it on the screen here the whole time. So, James, all I can tell you is that you are a working hard, playing hard American. I love you. You deserve me, and I deserve you. Welcome to the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire.
Thanks, Ted. Thanks for having me.
So you're in Tennessee. You look like a young man. You in your 40s? What are you?
48.
See, I got a pretty good eyeball. I can judge a deer running across the highway, how many points he has and how old he might be and how much garlic and butter he deserves. My point, James, is that you deserve me because you are obviously in the asset column. And even if there was justice, even if there was goodwill and decency from our corrupt communist Joe Biden government, just that you are an entrepreneur and you created this clever business. Everybody loves real America, not the current America, but the real America based on what the founding fathers designed is intervened by God for freedom and self-government. So your AmericanFlagStore.com is awesome, and we'll talk about that. But that you have been attacked by the enemies of America in control of America means I love you even more. Share your story with my real American voice shit kickers out here because you are the tip of the spear. You're in the asset column and our government hates you. Explain the pain and suffering and your defiance in those conditions.
Well, the business was actually my son's idea when he was 6 years old. So my wife and I heard him say that he wanted to start this. I was a carpenter, as you mentioned. My wife is an artist. She does all of the artwork on our flags by hand. So he saw the two as a mix. Right when he told us, we thought it was a great idea. So we obviously had to go with it. It blew up right away out in California. It did so well in California that we were able to get on the news out there. On the local news in KUSI in San Diego. That helped kind of launch our business a little bit more. And then COVID hit. We had to reinvent ourselves online. We found Facebook as a great place at the time to do that. Being locked down, nobody can go out. Previously we were at rodeos, gun shows, anywhere that patriots gathered. We took our flags to sell them to those people. And that's where we built our business. So when COVID hit, we were taken away from all those people, not allowed to see people, couldn't go out in public, all that garbage. And we reinvented ourselves online. We reconnected with that audience on a larger scale, to a nationwide scale through Facebook. And a couple years ago, on January 6th, when the insurrection happened, the next day we were canceled. All of our ads were taken down. We weren't allowed to place ads on Google. All of our 4 and 5 star reviews on Google were removed. So we got real desperate in trying to figure out how we were going to save our business. And the fact that we were canceled made national news again, not just in a small town or a big town, San Diego, but nationally. When that happened, we got hit harder by big tech. Facebook had canceled our advertising and wouldn't let us show our flags. And then when after we made national news, PayPal froze our bank account and held over $100,000 for a year or 11 months, and said that our business model was shady. and they would review it every 6 months and let us know what their internal review found, which meant that they were going to hold our money indefinitely until we went out of business. Luckily, Harmeet Dillon saw our story, and she jumped on board and started fighting PayPal for us, and that she was able to get us all of our money back until $10,000, at which time PayPal said, if you sign a non-disclosure and don't tell anybody that we've been doing this for you for a year, we'll give you back your money. So they essentially, and the way I see it is, they tried to extort me with my own money. But I guess when there's lawyers involved, it's not extortion, it's just negotiation. So we went on Fox News at that time to tell them about PayPal holding our money. They gave it within about 5 hours of us going on the news. They gave us back our money. We didn't have to sign a non-disclosure. That turned into several more visits on the news, which pretty much solved our marketing problem that Facebook had created. And ever since then, we've just been plugging away, connecting with customers through social media where we could, where we're not canceled, and making it on the news here and there, telling our story. We've connected with a local congressman. We have 2 pieces of legislation in Tennessee that will make it illegal what big tech did to us to shut our advertising down, and how they blocked us from having our money. We're going to get laws that change that in Tennessee, and hopefully that will spread to other states and become a law in our country. So it's been a crazy years.
It sounds like they messed with the wrong guy. I've got one of James's flags here. It's a wonderful wooden flag behind my bear bow and arrow there. He made a "I will not comply" Ted Nugent AR-15 beautiful sporting rifle flag. But you make these wonderful wooden flags, you and your family, right? I mean, this is the entrepreneurial light in a world of darkness, what you've experienced. But I've been going through this even before big tech. I mean, the media just has attacked me forever and just lied, the nasty, nasty, cruel, vicious lies they say about me and Donald Trump and you and anybody who's in the asset column. So all I can tell you is that the ultimate way to sucker punch the cruel pricks, they're absolutely soulless, mindless, cruel bastards in big tech and the PayPal scam. These are dirty, rotten people. The ultimate way is go every day when you want to buy something for somebody you love, go to youramericanflagstore.com and just bombard James and his family with orders for these great products. It brings great quality of life to everybody who's gotten one of these flags. You do a great job. You make a great world-class product. You are the tip of the spear of the American dream, working hard, playing hard families. So, James, all I can tell you is I'm glad we got your story out. And I know all of our friends on Real America Voice have been helping you. And I'd like to think that we are turning the tide and that your wonderful entrepreneurial efforts and your work ethic will come to fruition with good Americans, real honest, quality, decent Americans buying your quality products. So a big salute to you, a big God bless and a Godspeed. But thanks for sharing your story with us here today.
Thanks for having me on, Ted. Hey, and you were probably one of the very first person to get canceled. You need to be in the Hall of Fame. Why would they put you in the Hall of Fame? Isn't that a being canceled?
The things that, the worst thing a human can do to another, there's many things, and the government does them all. I mean, you see these people that say that drag queen events are harmless, where you have these demonic, pervert, naked men flashing their balls to little boys and girls. So that's another subject for another segment, which is coming up. But all I can tell you is that I had a bumper crop of middle fingers this year. And if anybody's short on middle fingers, I can have them airlifted into your dining room. Just call youramericanflagstore.com and buy some of James's product. So, James, a big thank you, a salute, and a God bless to you and your family. And I hope to run into you out there on the road sometime, man.
Thanks, Ted.
All right, carry on. Don't ever give up. Never back down. Never give in. Never bend over, Rover. Let Teddy take over. But I'm telling you, everybody out there, the ultimate way to fight back against the dishonesty, the corruption, the criminality, the cruelty, the hate from the left, they're all rodents. It's not even Planet of the Apes anymore. Now it's Planet of the Rodents. It's like the Democrat Party has a photo finish between snakes and rodents. They want to either be the biggest rodent in the world or the biggest snake in the world. Go to mypillow.com, type in the code